Hello everyone, good evening. This is Robin with Simmy's Simple Designs, and if you see the little red live light, you've caught me live. If not, you're watching the replay. Please type in #replay. I apologize, I was watching Monique with Race and Tattered Lace beforehand. Anyway, she'd already got me going with the crying, so I'm sorry. I'd like to welcome you here. Sorry, give me a minute. I am in the benefit auction or benefit event today to help out Lois's daughter, Kara. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Lana. Sorry, guys. I apologize. It's been kind of an emotional day for me. Let me find myself. See if I can find myself here. So give me a minute so I can see comments. I know some of you probably have been watching today the event. Well, maybe I am on my, I may have to go to my business page. Find myself there. Okay, there I am. Sorry, guys. Hi. Anyway, I am, like I said, I am in an event today, and the event is to benefit Kara, who is Lois from Wild Child Mercantile. So my project tonight will be, during the last 5 minutes of this live tonight, it will be auctioned off to help her. I don't know if you guys know, Kara lost her baby. She found out she was pregnant, and they did a C-section, and the baby only lived a few hours. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Mel. Thank you for being here. Anyway, so that's what tonight's event is for. We're coming together to help support our, help one of our crafting members, Lois, and her. She had to have a C-section, and she is the only one. She just bought a new home, so she'll be off work for several weeks. So we put this benefit together to help her with money. So sorry, guys, this has been kind of a rough day. So anyway, I'm going to give it a minute so that Stephanie can get me shared into the group. Hi, Terry. Welcome, guys. Welcome, welcome. I'm waiting to see if I can see Stephanie come on. I did come on a few minutes early, so she can get me shared in. This is being shown in the Wild Honey group, which was created by Lois with Wild Child Mercantile and Stephanie with Handmade Bear Creates. So they formed a group, and that's who is hosting this event tonight. So it's been going a little bit longer. Hi, Kay. Because of the auction portion of it. So I want to make sure that, sorry guys, I'm just giving it a minute for Stephanie to show up. And I've lost my comments. Hi, Marcia. Facebook has been horrible today. On top of it. So, and if you hear music, my neighborhood, they're having a concert in the park just down the road, and I apologize for that. So, hi Charnette. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Melissa, hi, how are you? Sorry guys, I'm just kind of waiting to see Stephanie, make sure she's got me shared into the group. Hi Pam. So we are, like I said, I am in an event today. Hi Elizabeth. Hosted by Wild Honey. I don't know if you've heard. Hi Jolyn. Hi Denise. Hi everybody. Hi Stephanie. Okay, thanks Stephanie. You're gonna make me cry all over again. Anyway, this is a benefit event today, and we are raising money to help Kara, who is Lois with Wild Child Mercantile, her daughter today. When I asked to be in this event, I contacted Stephanie, and because my daughter went through something very similar. Anyway, when my daughter went through hers, she was only about 24 weeks when she lost her baby. And at that point, they consider it a baby, and you have to have a funeral, either a casket or cremated or something. And they did not have the means or anything. And fortunately, the funeral home where they took the baby, the gentleman there was very, very kind, and he paid all of the expenses. Anyway, they gave her a little teddy bear with the baby's urn. So when I did this, I thought, I know what I want to do for this event. And so I got with my son, my middle son is an artist, and I asked him to draw this up for me. And normally I don't show what I'm making, but I am showing this tonight. This is what we're making today. He drew this up for me, this little wood kit. And this is going to Kara, this one right here. And then I will be making the other one that will be auctioned off tonight. So I have already kind of started. I'm sorry, guys. I shouldn't have watched Monique. I apologize. Anyway, I have already started painting part of the little bear. So, because I wanted to get this done. So we're going to paint the wings. I'm sorry, guys. We'll get this painted. I guess what makes it really hard for me is my daughter is also moving away this weekend. So it's been quite a week for me. So there's that. Anyway, so I am using folk art, and it's sheepskin for the wings, and we're gonna get those painted. And I have already waxed them, and I will chippy them, and I hope I can get this done. I've been watching and crying, and it's like, I can't. But I think we all have been, so. But this is a wonderful event. I will be paying the shipping for whoever wins the bid. And the link to the PayPal is in the description. So even if you can't bid, because I know some of the things are a little higher than what you can afford, and that's fine. But there is a link. You can go to PayPal, and any little small donation that you could give, Kara and Lois would be very greatly appreciative of. I know they would. So this community has just been a blessing to them. I know that they have been very touched, and so anyway. I was in, I had to run to a couple of errands this morning, and I wanted to catch it right at 9:45 because I wanted to hear the prayer before the benefit started, and I was still out. And I had to go into CVS, and I turned it on and had my phone up to my ear and was listening to Carrie give the prayer and crying in CVS, and I'm sure everybody thought I was nuts. What's that lady doing? Phone to her ear and she's bawling in the store. So I'm going to set these aside. I was so glad my son was able to do this for me. Sorry, guys. Thank you all for being here. And I'm sorry. All right, the red I want to use, I must have put it away. We are going to use holly berry for our heart. Yeah, that's for sure. Nobody cries around. Yeah, we've all been crying together, so I guess that's a good thing. I don't need much. All right. It's been some beautiful things have been made and auctioned off. I've tried to watch as much as I can, and there's been some amazing things that all these creators have made so far. I can't wait to see the rest of the ladies tonight and what they do tomorrow. It's just been, this is an amazing community, that's for sure. That is for sure. So, oh, okay. But you've cried. But you've cried. Hi, Lois. The little cheeks? Yeah, I painted the little cheeks. I painted all of the pieces except for the wings and the heart. Those I went ahead and did. And those I painted in this, the body of the bear has been painted in Folk Art Mellow Mocha. And then I've got another shade of brown we're going to put on it. So I was afraid I wouldn't get it all done. So I did do part of it. Paint part of it. I didn't figure you guys wanted to watch me do a whole bunch of painting, so. Anyway, so those are dry. I'm gonna get my little scraper here, and we're gonna, oops, wrong one. My little scraper, because I am gonna chippy these up just a little bit. And I did put a little bit of pink in the bow, just because I wanted to represent the little girl. But this one, I'm probably gonna do more of a neutral bow. So, hi Sandy, hi Carol, hi Beverly. Thanks guys, you guys. Thank you all so much for being here and supporting this great event. Some of the people today even put things in before this event in the silent auction, and I know there's still some things over there. So if you haven't joined the free group Wild Honey, you might want to join and go check out some of the other things that are up for auction. I have paint on my face. I do. That does not surprise me. I probably do. Thank you. I get paint everywhere usually. So it does not surprise me. So this is what our wings look like. And I still got paint on my head. Oh well, I'll get it off after. So that's the chippy we're going for. I won't hold the brown. The brown, because of the stain, I see it. I'll have to get it when I get off because it's, I think it's dried on there. You guys have to look at my face with paint on it, right? Maybe it'll give us all a laugh now. All right, because I'm not sure you can see that. Maybe I'll get a wet wipe. Hi, Ricky. Here in a minute, I'll get a wipe and see if I can wipe it off. So I'm not taking it down too much as far as the chippy goes, but it comes in little, we did all separate little pieces. Oh, thanks. Even with paint on my face, Stephanie. All right. And it has been so humid here today, in the last few days, or actually today and yesterday. I straightened my hair, but it's still like frizzen because it's so humid. Hi, Barbara. I'm used to humidity, but it's been really high here the last few days. We did get a little bit of rain, but we sure need some more. We need quite a bit of rain, but I think that's about everywhere. Let's see if I can get the paint off my face here. See if I got it. Maybe I got it. All right. So what I did is I kind of free-handed, well, this one I found a little bear to kind of look at his face to see for sure how I wanted to paint him up. And I just kind of, I took a chalk, this is like a chalk pencil, and I just traced like his little nose. I just kind of freehand and traced a little nose on here, and I'm gonna do that here. I didn't go ahead and, I was gonna just paint, but I decided I really wanted to make sure it looked right and not funky, to just give me kind of an idea of where I wanted his little nose to be. And then the chalk, if I don't paint right over the lines, the chalk will just come right off. And this, I just took and laid a piece of paper on his little feet, and I kind of drew like a little pattern to give like the paw with the pads of his little feet, and I drew it on a paper, and I made a little pattern here, and I'm just going to trace around it. And for his toes, I just used, I'll show you. Do this real quick. Like I said, just so I kind of have a general idea. But for his little toes, I had one of these little tiny sponge brushes, and that's what I used for his little toes. And I just kind of centered this and just drew around. Like I said, it just gave me a general idea of how I wanted to paint this without committing to painting and having something go wrong. Sometimes I do just kind of freehand, you know, I just go for it. But this one I really wanted to make sure that you know, it looked right. And then I found a bear thing online, and it had where his, like the inside portion of his little tummy was a different shade. And I just cut that part out and I kind of laid it on here and went around that. So we have where his little fur, his little tummy is a little lighter than his body. And I'm going to trace around that. And then we're going to get that painted up. And I kind of cut it out kind of wavy because I didn't want it like a straight circle, I guess you could say. I want it to kind of have just a wavy, like a texture looking. And I'm just going to come up this way. And I know some of this we're not going to see all of it, but that's okay. And then use these out of the way and this out of the way. And the same with the ear. Now the ears, I just kind of freehanded. I just kind of went in here and drew just kind of a half circle. And that's how I got the ear shape. And like I said, because this is a chalk pencil, it will come off. It'll just wipe right off. But it'll give me an idea. I didn't get this very straight, but you can fix it here. And I may have to make it just a little bigger, but like I said, it just gives me kind of an idea or an outline of where I want to paint. And we'll start with these. Hi, Jan. And for that part of it, we're using Barcelona beige. Hi, Joretta. I hope I said that right. Hi, Bella. Alrighty. I had a couple of paintbrushes here. What did I do with it? Oh, there it is. Oh, there's the one I want. I want this one. Thanks, guys, for being here. Hi, Barb. Hi, Tracy. Hey, how are you? How is everybody? Don't mind me. The basket case, right? And we're just gonna paint right inside here. And like I said, hopefully I can get this done. But you guys will at least see what it gonna look like. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, we have company. I hear a little boy. My husband went and took my granddaughters are here right now with their mom, which is my daughter. And he took their bicycles. Our bicycles have been here because we've been babysitting while my daughter works. And their bikes were here so that they could, you know, ride bikes while they were here. And he just took them over to their house so that they would remember to get them packed, because they're packing up this weekend to move. So that's part of why this was so hard. And then I was putting the birth date for Laramie on there. And Laramie was born on my daughter's birthday. I probably knew that at one point, but you know, I don't remember things like I used to. Yeah, and I don't know that I ever really, I mean, I knew when Laramie was born, I remember Lois putting the post, but I guess I didn't really pay much attention. And like I said, when I was writing it down today, I realized. And we're just kind of, like I said, I'm just kind of giving this a wavy look. Sorry guys, I'm not looking at comments. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get this done. All right. And all of the proceeds, or 100% of the proceeds for this benefit will go to Kara. So that's the, you know, it won't have to be, she doesn't get a percentage of it or anything. It all goes to her. So that's good. I love doing these benefit. This is like the third, or I guess this is the third one I've done, and I enjoy them very much, but I just like helping people where I can. And this community just does so much for so many. All right. So he's not perfect looking, but he's kind of rough looking, but you know, hair isn't. All right, I'm gonna get another little brush here because I'm gonna do his ears. We'll get them done. Thank you, Tracy. You make that floating look easy. I always wanted to learn how to toll paint. I always wanted to take a toll painting class, and I was never able to. My kids were, my boys were little, just, you know, busy with them and not really have the money, you know, the extra to do it. Our little community college where we lived did offer it, but, and then I went to work full time, and so I couldn't do it then. And I had a dear friend that tried to teach me a little bit, but then I came across some more primitive type toll painting books, and I thought, well, gee, I can do that. I don't need to take a class. And I just started doing it. So, but I always wanted to do the shading and all of that. I have a dear friend that knows how. She used to do some beautiful things. All right, now I got everything. Looking okay. All right, so now I'm just gonna take, like I said, I just used this little pouncer. We're gonna use this for his little feet, his little toes, and I just dipped it in the paint, and I'm just using the lid. So one little foot with his little toes. right. I don't think that'll probably float around in that water, but it's in water, so. So there's our little toes, our little feet, and we got our little body. So the only thing I have left is this part, his little nose. And I'm gonna use this same fine little round. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Christy. Hi, Buck. Sorry, guys. If you're new, thank you for being here and joining us for this benefit. Thank you so much. And I'm using Crazy Crow, which is like a vintage black, and it is a chalk paint. Most of the chalk paint I do use is from Nicole with Afraid Not. She makes her own chalk paint, but I do use other, as you can see, I do use other kinds. We're gonna this little nose painted in. And even though I've drawn this, of course, it's freehand part of it. It's still not perfect, guys. It's far from being perfect. I am not one for perfect. I don't, okay, that's what I'm looking for, my glasses. So I can see really quick. And then I just took and just drew a straight line for his little face. And then I used the back of a paintbrush for his little whiskers. All right. So that's what we got. Everything's painted up now. And I'm gonna take the heat tool to this so we can get him put together. Which, I gotta turn that on for the, at least my husband's keeping him entertained outside. Well, thank you, Abby. I appreciate that. I just appreciate my son for doing this for me. He's quite the artist, and I'm gonna take my little, because I can still see some white on here, so I'm just gonna take my little wet wipe and I'm just gonna go along the edge and wipe that off. Get all that off of there so you can't see that. Make sure I got it all. Hi, how are you? How's Julie? And I did take something out for a little tag, but I'm not sure. So now we're gonna put him together. And we're gonna start with his little muzzle, his little nose. Okay, and I'm gonna use the Type Bond Quick and Thick, and I use this CA thick quick stick or fast stick glue, because you can get a well, the Type Bond will give us a long hold because it's wood to wood, but the CA kind of acts like hot glue, where we'll get instant hold. And hopefully I don't have a catastrophe like the last wood kit I did on a big life. I glued all the pieces together and it didn't dry very fast and it fell apart the last 5 minutes of my life. So I have a blooper reel. Hi Jackie, how are you? I'm gonna hold this for a few minutes. Oh, he does? You know, you tell Kevin, my husband works with wood all the time. He's the one who cuts all my wood pieces out. He does cutting boards. He does all kinds of things. And he loves the CA glue. Now, he still uses wood glue with it, but he still has a bottle of it. And most men who are woodworkers have it in their arsenal. So tell Kevin to quit taking that out of your cart. Oh, sweetie, I've been praying for you, Jackie. So there's his little face so far. Yeah, we're going to get his little feet on. And I just kind of found a little spot. Just kind of guessed. And I am going to offer this little guy as a new wood kit. If you want one, I'm not going to get into that, but if you do want one, private message me, because I just really want to focus on this benefit and having the auction for Lois and Kara tonight. So, but it is going to be available. Because this tonight's not for me, it's for them. And I'm gonna hold this down. Hi, Haley. I'm about out of this tight bond, which is fine because I haven't had a lid for this bottle. It broke on me. So my new bottle will have a lid. Hi, Renee. How are you? We'll hold this a minute. I think we're going to be okay. I think I'm going to get it together. We'll sneak a bottle to her, right? Do it without Kevin knowing, huh? All right. And we'll put his little head on. And I just kind of did the head, just kind of met the chin kind of even with the light part on my bear. If that makes any sense. Oh, that's what it is. He doesn't want to pay for it. Well, I have my own bottle and my husband has his own. So, hi, Marcia. But there is like an activator that you can buy. It's like a spray. It's like a 2-part thing that he also has. But I never use it. I just use this part of it. He uses, there's like an aerosol spray, and you get even a more instant hold if you use that. But I think this works just fine for me. But okay, So that's what we have so far. So now we're gonna get our little wings on. And I had to mark, kind of lay my body down, kind of laid them down, and then laid the body on top and kind of adjusted where I wanted them. Made sure they were, you know, kind of even. And then I have to have a pencil. Oh, if I can find my pencil. I took a pencil and made a little pencil mark on each side here, just like this. And then I lifted it, and that's where I put glue, and I lined my bear back up on those pencil marks. And of course, I can't see it on this one now. Okay, now I see it. What you can see with your glasses on, right? Okay. And I may have to readjust, but that's kind of the nice thing about using the quick and thick. You do have some time to make adjustments. Come on. There we go. And I'm gonna wait. That's better, I think. All right, and I'm just gonna put some pressure on here and hold it just for a little bit and make sure that these hold those wings on there so they stay. Thank you. Make sure we got a good hold here. I see some glue. I'm gonna wipe this up. I know it does dry clear, but I always still wipe the glue if I see it. So there he is so far. Okay, this one's not gonna stand. Come on. How come you don't want to stand? I might have to put a little block on the back of him. I may not got his feet down as low. That could be why. Okay. All right. I will finish him, but it will look very similar to this one, guys. So you saw Kara's. So yeah, you can go ahead, and I'm going to trust you guys to start. I don't, you know, I'm not going to do a starting bid. Whatever you guys want to start at. No. I'm going to finish this little bow up, and I'll finish his face. Thank you, Renee. Okay, 25. Okay, Savvy's 30, Abby's 35. Amanda's 40. I'm not gonna be able to see with those on. $65, Velvet and Vine Designs. And the link for the PayPal is in the description. Like I said, I will pay for the shipping, and you'll just, whoever wins, we'll just 1 minute left for the bidding. All right, looks like Velvet and Vines Designs got it for $65. Thank you. You just use that PayPal account and pay it there, and then just send me a screenshot of that you paid and your address, and I will get this little bear out to you. You guys, thank you for joining us tonight for this wonderful benefit event. Thank you, Heather. Thank you. And you guys go out and head over and see, bye Shanna, she's up next, and see what she's gonna have. And we'll see you guys. Have a blessed rest of your night. Bye.